These two test tubes contain our two Phiedole Megacephela colonies. Their common name is big-headed ants. And in this video, we will be feeding both colonies. We will also be giving both colonies a new test tube setup and more. This colony is the biggest out of the two and the most developed. With lots of vacuums and a nice big pile of brood. They even have a major. Majors are a specialized cast of vacuums with big heads. Those heads are packed full of muscle. The majors usually help rip apart food. This one's the smallest with only around 8 vacuums and a small pile of brood. Their water has completely dried out, so these guys need a new test tube setup fast. It's time to make the test tube setup. First we'll need test tubes, cotton, and water. First add the water. Now time for the cotton. Water and cotton. We'll now be moving the two colonies into their new test tube setups. Let's start by moving the biggest colony first. Here's a time lapse of the colony moving into their new test tube setup. At this point, I've been sitting here for almost an hour. Let's move on to the second colony and come back later. Here's the smallest colony. Let's connect the two test tubes together. But since their test tubes are so small, you'll have to use tape. We've covered their new test tube, so here's a time lapse of them moving in. This might take a while, so let's check on the other colony. They now moved into their new test tube setup. Let's check what it looks like inside. You may have noticed that the queen only has 3 legs. This is how we found her. Now let's remove the original test tube and block off the entrance with cotton. Here's what they look like now. Now it's time to check on the other colony. They're moving into their new test tube. The colony has now moved in. Let's remove the original test tube and block off the entrance with cotton. This is what it looks like now that the original test tube has been removed and we've blocked off the entrance with cotton. Now we are making an outweld. First, we are adding a thin layer of sand. I'll be adding a stick as decor, some dry moss pieces, I also added a little twig. I'll be adding a wood chip with some honey on it. And I'll also add a piece of fish. Time to connect the colony to the outwell. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, you could like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more island dance.